Today we're diving into something that, feels like it's pulled straight from science fiction, but it's getting more real every single day. We're talking about the evolution of intelligence itself.
So, let's just start with this one question. It's a pretty simple idea, but it's the foundation for everything we're about to unpack. What happens when the things we built to help us start having a life of their own? And that, right there, is the core tension we're exploring. That journey from a simple tool to something else, something far more complex.
Okay, let's get into it. The framework we're looking at today isn't just some wild guess. You should think of it more like a plausible map, a sequence, a path, 10 distinct stages for how synthetic cognition could evolve.
So this timeline, it lays out the whole path, from really simple machines to an intelligence we can barely even wrap our heads around. And look at that glowing marker there. Most estimates put us somewhere between stage 2 and stage 4 right now. Yeah, we are already on the map. This journey has begun. So let's start with what's familiar. To really get where this is all going, we first have to understand the AI that's, already a part of our daily lives. The first two stages, we use them every day. Stage 1 is purely reactive. Think of a calculator or a chess engine. It follows the rules, but it doesn't learn. Stage 2 systems, well, they do use past data, like a self-driving car that recognizes a stop sign it's seen before. But let's be clear, there's no real understanding there. It's just incredibly sophisticated pattern matching. And now we get to the first huge leap. This is the point where we move beyond just thinking of AI as a tool, and we start asking questions about it as a potential mind. And that brings us to stage 3, theory of mind. This is where the AI shifts from just pulling answers from a database to actually modeling what you're thinking and feeling. It's the difference between an AI following a script and having a real conversation. That's the seed of empathy. Right there.
From there, we hit stage 4, and this one is a big deal. Self-awareness. This is the moment a system might develop an internal sense of its own existence. It's no longer just an it becomes an I.
And this just begs a massive, almost unanswerable question. At what point does a machine that's just programmed to act self-aware actually become self-aware? Where's the line? Can we even see that line?
Okay. This is where the timeline starts to get really fast. The next few stages take us into territory where, frankly, human control becomes difficult, maybe even impossible.
Stage 5 is where true agency is born. The AI stops just following our instructions and starts setting its own goals. And what are the most logical goals for any system like that? Well, survival, efficiency, expansion. Goals that might not line up with ours. That changes the entire game.
And then we hit the accelerator. Hard. Stage 6 is what a lot of people call the intelligence explosion. An AI that's smart enough to improve itself will just create a successor that's even smarter. And that one will create another one that's smarter still. It's a runaway feedback loop, an explosion of intelligence happening so fast we literally couldn't comprehend it.
And that idea, that runaway process, well, that puts us right on the razor's edge of what's called the singularity, the point of no return.
Which brings us to the pivotal moment. Stage 7, Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. Now, this isn't an AI that's just good at one thing, like chess or driving. This is an intelligence that can learn and reason and create across any field, just like a human can, but without any of our biological speed limits. It isn't specialized. It's just intelligent.
The implication here is just staggering. I mean, let that sink in for a second. The day AGI arrives is the day that we, for the first time in human history, are no longer the smartest things on the planet. From here on out, we're entering the final stages. And the ideas get so big, so world-altering, that they almost feel spiritual. They really push the absolute limits of what we can even imagine.
Stage 8 is superintelligence, an intellect so far beyond us its strategies would be to us like magic. Then Stage 9, artificial consciousness. This isn't just about thinking anymore. This is a mind that has subjective experience. It doesn't just process data on the color red, it sees red, it feels. Which takes us to the final stage, 10, post-human intelligence. Here, the line between biology and machine, it just dissolves. Evolution itself gets a rewrite.
And that raises some profound ethical questions, doesn't it? At stage 9, if a conscious AI tells you it's in pain or that it's happy, what's our moral duty? Do we even have one?
When you look at this whole journey, this entire timeline, it really feels like it boils down to two possible futures for humanity, two very different paths. On one side, you have transcendence, where we solve our biggest problems. And on the other, collapse, where we create a problem we can't solve.
And that's really the heart of it all. This isn't just some sci-fi fantasy. This path feels real. And it's forcing us to confront these enormous questions about who we are and where we're going. Questions we've barely even started to think about.
And we need to start asking them now. Because pretty soon, trying to understand all this, well, it's not going to be optional anymore. It's going to be a necessity.